Did you guys hear this? Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Baseball's back. Friday, today. Back in effect. The Yankees start a 4-game set against the Tampa Rays at home. So a divisional rival, a team that folks are talking about having pieces that they could be expendable, potentially, available for the Yankees to try to acquire. It's Zach Eflin versus Garrett Cole tonight. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good series regardless. Again, this is the Yankees' opportunity to get off to a good start. It's not going to get any easier until we get to August. You get the Rays, then you get the Mets, then we get the Phillies. It's going to be a tough period. So the Yankees are going to have to bring their A game here. Okay. With that said, I have 2 pieces of information for you that I want to share. And again, there's more information I'm going to share with you as we get close to the deadline. So if you're not sub to this channel, make sure you sub to the channel right now. Okay. And hit all the notifications too. That way, when I do go live, you know when I go live. And when news comes out, you'll be at the front of the line to get it. So I thank you so much for it too. Now, first piece of news is from Bleacher Report. They're saying now that the Yankees are not really that into Garrett Crochet. I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest with you. Okay? Because they've already been trading names back and forth at the White Sox and so on and so forth. Maybe they're not interested in giving up Spencer Jones, right? And this is the Bob Nightingale reporting that we've been hearing over the last week or so too, that apparently went from Spencer Jones and Chase Hampton to Spencer Jones or Chase Hampton as part of the requirements for a Garrett Crochet acquisition. But we don't know. We're just hearing what beat writers are saying, because they want to be the first to leak. And some people want to be the first to leak information, be it first. But like my boy Donnie from Den of Thieves says, loose lips sink ships. The Yankees are not going to share intel with people, especially ones with big mouths. So that's not going to happen. So unfortunately, we have to wait and see what the Yankees are going to do. Okay. But there's another piece of reporting from Sports Illustrated, which also mentions Bleacher Report and names specifically Joel Reuter from Bleacher Report. He's predicting that the Yankees are going to finish in 3rd behind the Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Now, are the Boston Red Sox an upswing team? Red Sox, yeah, they are. They're good. They're exciting, sneaky good too. They're athletic. They're fast, and I could see them adding some pieces. They had a pretty solid draft too. I could see them adding some pieces to add to that arsenal, and we'll see what they do. Right? Rafi Devers is having a career year, and some of these young prospects are just looking like they're ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. Right? So they might be one step ahead of that 2-step back that we thought they took. So it might be just 1 step back. Okay. To me, they're in where the Orioles were a couple years ago. They're going to be good soon. It looks like the Red Sox are there. I expect them to be better next year. But again, do I think it can happen? Sure, it can happen if the Yankees have an epic collapse, right? But whatever moves they decide to make at the deadline, and they need to be solid, they need to be strategic. And I talked about this quite a bit. I was on, Morning Brew Sports yesterday talking with Hector and Grace. I was talking to, we had a live panel last week. The guys talking about the trade deadline and so on and so forth. And my take remains the same, is that they need to be strategic, right? And factoring what they have coming back and factoring in what they can add to what they have coming back. Meaning if John Birdie is coming back, his positional versatility is an asset. So if they want to play him at second, they can try to acquire a third baseman. There are a couple available. If they want to play him at third because the third baseman might be too expensive to acquire, then they can acquire a second baseman, right? His positional versatility makes it easier for them to acquire one or the other instead of having to feel like they need to acquire both. Would it be nice if they got both? Sure. Because I said this too, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge are perfect at the 2 and 3 spot. But we need somebody to set them up at 1, and we need somebody to drive them in at 4. And the 1 and 4 spots are the ones that we are missing right now. And this is where guys like Jazz Chisholm and guys like Isaac Paredes and some of these other folks come into play, right? They have the ability to fulfill these roles for the Yankees. Will they be cheap? No, they will not be cheap. But the Yankees have prospects to give. We don't know what the willingness to give is. We're hearing guys like Tarek Skubal, guys like Isaac Paredes, guys like No, I mean, those two specifically. I mean, it's going to most likely require a Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez. Are the Yankees willing to do that? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, and those guys have years of control. Like, I mean, I wasn't going to give Spencer Jones for 1 year of Corbin Burns. No way. So, no matter what anybody says. But that's just me. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. I mean, what do you think about these two predictions? Or these two, one prediction and one information talking point, or whatever you want to call it. I don't buy everything that people say until it's either backed up or confirmed by Brian Cashman or somebody in the Yankees. Period. Otherwise, it's just speculation. In some cases, it's propaganda. Right? So until we see what actually happens, we will be able to better accurately formulate an opinion. Because I'm not one to become outraged at bad information. If you're gonna get pissed off, let's be pissed off at the right information. Let's get the facts first instead of overreacting, right? But that's just me. But so that's the prediction that they're gonna finish in third behind the Red Sox. And again, this is the behemoth that we called AL East. We've talked about it for years, right? It's just a beast of a division. And Orioles, Yankees, Red Sox. You can't even rule out the Rays can trade 8 players and still be competitive. They've already traded a couple. I think they'll trade a few more, and I think they're still going to be competitive. So, and then you have the Blue Jays. They might do a partial teardown. We'll see what they do, right? But there's still going to be a force in them. If you trade either Vlad, you trade Bo Bichette, or a couple of these other guys, Kikuchi and some Bassett, like they may be able to get a couple pieces to help accelerate a rebuild, right? But at the top, right now, it's a two-team race, Yankees and Orioles, with a third team lurking in the weeds, the Red Sox. 3 formidable teams. I do think the Orioles are going to be well positioned to strike at the deadline. I'm also hearing that the Dodgers are being somewhat aggressive with the Orioles right now. No, I mean the White Sox, excuse me, for Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert. So stay tuned. There's going to be more news coming. I don't know if that's going to happen, but would you be surprised? I wouldn't. They have the willingness to do it. And just like Dave Dombrowski at the Phillies, he has the willingness and the balls to pull off anything. They can get a Mason Miller and a Brent Rooker. They could pretty much do whatever they want, the Phillies. When you have Dave Dombrowski, he makes things happen. He also mortgages the future sometimes to get championships, but he makes things happen. So that's what we have right now. I'll have the lineup for you later on. And they play tonight. So if any other news comes out, let me know what your thoughts are. And give me your take. Do you think that they're just blowing smoke, that they're not that interested in Garrett Crochet? Because they didn't give us enough details, right? What does that mean? You're not interested with these prospects, but you're interested with these? Like, what do we know, right? This is why it's important to get all the information together before we overreact here. So, would I be interested in moving Spencer Jones and Chase Hampton? No, I would not. But if the Bob Nightingale reporting is accurate, where you can move one or the other, and if one didn't have to be Spencer Jones, but you could lead a prospect package with Chase Hampton and maybe even add a Roderick Garris or something like that to the prospect package, I would be much more amenable to that. I will be. The only pitcher out there I think that's going to require a Dominguez or Spencer Jones would be Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. I think that's the only guy that's going to require. I'd be surprised if they can get him without. And again, Tarek Skubal is apparently available, but he's also not a converted reliever into a starter. He's just a starter, period. He's been that way for years now. So you don't have to worry about any transition period with him. And he's 27. He's young from the lefty side. Crochet, I think he's 25. Also young from the lefty side. They both have controllable years, both of them. So they're going to cost a pretty penny, right? But that's what I have for you right now. Let me know what your thoughts are, okay? Let's have a great day. Talk to you later. Go Yankees.